Greetings.
Greetings.
Welcome to Film Gazers, a podcast focusing on the science fiction, horror, fantasy trinity, and 20th century entertainment. I'm Steph.
I'm Jess. We're cousins slash besties. Join us as we reminisce, discuss, and review films from our childhood.
So, what you been watching? What you been doing? Did you have a good Christmas?
I did. I did. It was over very quickly.
It felt like this month just flew by for sure.
It did. It's okay because I really wasn't in the Christmas spirit this year. Like I didn't even finish putting up Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
I put my tree up and then I was like, I'll do the rest later. And then I was like, well, it's already here, so I
Eh.
guess I'm done. I guess I'm done.
We tried to get in the Christmas spirit a little bit this year because last year we were not with the passing of Scala. And then
Mm.
Andrew's grandmother had got into a pretty bad car accident. So we ended up doing Christmas like at her house and stuff. So things were just like a little different last year. So this year we at least did get the decorations up. We did do that much.
Yeah.
But that was kind of it.
My mom came over last night and we watched Stranger Things, the new part that came out, the three new episodes that came released.
Yeah, we are. We haven't watched any of the new season yet.
Yep, we've been keeping up on it.
Nice.
So yeah, we watched that last night. It was all right. Like I'm ready for the finale.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt last season. So that's kind of we just keep putting it off.
It just feels like they're dragging the season out. Like I just feel like they're making it longer than it needs to be. I
Mm-hmm.
understand because it's the last season, so like I'm fine with it. I feel like they're trying
Yeah.
to like, oh, we gotta give it all we got because it's the last one.
Yeah. It's the
But
last
still, I'm like,
one.
okay, I'm ready.
Like,
I'm
let's
ready
wrap
for
it
that
up,
last
guys.
episode.
Let's
Yeah,
wrap it up.
let's wrap it up so I can start it over from the beginning and rewatch it all. So watch that. What else? I've been watching. Have you ever seen Cold Case Files? It's not a true crime, but it's like a
I
fictional.
I believe I did. There was a period of time where I was just consuming so much like detective
Hmm.
crime dramas and even true crime stuff, like all mixed together. So I'm pretty sure I watched it. I just can't tell you what I remember about it.
Yeah, it's basically like an SVU type show,
Hmm.
but it came out in 2004. Was like when it first came out.
Okay, yeah, then I probably did watch it. I just don't remember the characters.
So I've been watching that one. I put it on at first because I just needed something on in the background, and I was like, oh, it's actually pretty good. I like it.
Hmm.
It's
Nice.
cheesy. It's on the same level as SVU, like as far as oh, and it's even got Danny Pino in it from SVU. That's what I was gonna say.
Oh.
What was his name in it? Nick.
I believe so. I think you're right. I think it was Nick.
Yeah, I don't remember his last name in it. I want to say Nick Arojo, but that's from What Not to Wear.
That's from
He's the
what?
hairstyle. He's the
Oh.
hairstylist from What Not to Wear.
I would not have remembered that at
Well, I
all.
saw him at a hair show one time.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, Nick Arojo.
Nice.
Yeah, it was funny. But anyways, so that's pretty much it. I've been watching that almost every night.
Nice. And you had a good Christmas.
But yeah, we did. It was good. Everybody ended up coming to my mom's house, so that was fun.
Got your family time in.
Got our family time in, and then I don't remember what I did when I got home. To be honest with you,
I know.
pretty sure I fell
Yeah.
asleep on the couch.
Yeah, we had a pretty standard, yeah, Christmas day. We had, yeah, family over here and then did our eating. We usually just kind of chill and hang out, yeah, for a little bit. And yeah, it was over before you knew it. And then I just parked on the couch and digested because I ate so much food.
And today's my last day off, and I'm kind of sad about it.
Oh no. Yeah, I am. No, I am off until I have to go back on Wednesday. So I did take some time off. The day after Christmas was good for me because it was my do nothing day. And I literally like stayed in bed and watched a movie for today's podcast.
Hmm.
And literally did nothing. So it was really nice. I needed it.
Yeah, everybody needs one of those.
I've been the beginning of the month, I hadn't really been watching very much. I just been putting on like, our random sitcoms we'll put on kind of before bed or whatever. And we were so busy with orders for Laserface Engraving that we watched The Expanse. We're still on season 3 of that. It's like our dinner show. And
Dinner
I
show.
got a few holiday movies crammed in before, but only it was just the last holiday and Die Hard. we we watched those like actually before Christmas, and then you came over on Christmas Eve because that's when we see each other with our jolly
Yes.
assholes. So we did Muppet Christmas Carol was the pick this year. On Xmas Day, we did Frosty, the Snowman, Rudolph. We did the Garfield Christmas, so that was kind of fun. We had
Mm.
those playing while I was cooking and everything.
My tradition is A Christmas Story that has to be watched on Christmas Day.
Nice, nice. We I would say we do a lot of more of the claymation and like the cartoons and the like shorter ones. That's usually kind
Mm.
of and like Andrew will also do like Mickey's Christmas Carol. Sometimes it's more Christmas Eve depending.
Well, it's so short too.
Yeah, the Peanuts one, we'll do any of those, Charlie Browns. Yeah, so we'll kind of revolve them out. We did do How the Grinch Stole Christmas as
Hmm.
well.
The cartoon or the
The cartoon, yeah. That one's usually when I have to have played at some point, whether in the background or we watch it. I also watch Dumb and Dumber.
the spirit of Christmas.
I hadn't seen it in a really long time. I still loved it. Honestly, though, the gags are really cheesy. Like, some of it is cheesier than I remembered. I watched Ace Ventura When Nature Calls not too long ago as well. And then watching Dumb and Dumber. I have to say, I think When Nature Calls made me like still laugh out loud more than Dumb and Dumber
Right.
did, even though I love all the one liners in Dumb and Dumber. So it was still fun to watch it again. And then we did Emperor's New Groove on Christmas night.
Nice. Always a good one.
Something fun. And then I watched Ed Wood a little bit. Andrew was like, I think he was working on some stuff. Like we had some other orders to work on. So I just put Ed Wood in the background. I always love that one.
It's been a while since I've seen that one.
Yeah, it's an acquired taste, I would say. That
That's
but
Johnny Depp too, isn't it?
yes, yeah, it's a Tim Burton
Yeah.
film, yeah, and then it's supposed to be during the time of Ed Wood filming Plan 9 from Outer Space. But
That's right.
Andrew
That's right.
has been educated at least because then when he was sitting down for a little while watching some of it with me, and he was like, "Oh yeah," he was like, "This is a guy, the worst director of all time, right? That did Plan 9 that we watched together when we were first dating." I'm like, "Yes," because it was so funny. We were talking on Christmas Eve about or Andrew was making fun of like all the weird movies that I introduced to him that like he just does not enjoy. And it's so many, like it's gotten to the list because I'm like, oh, Plan 9 from Outer Space, where he was like, yeah, that was really bad. Like Ed Wood, he's like, it's okay. Cabin Boy, like these were
Oh,
random weird
Cabin
comedies.
Boy is
He
amazing.
did not like it.
What?
He was not enamored with it like we were. He was like, this
Well,
is weird and dumb.
he will never be a fancy lad.
He'll never be a fancy lad.
Man, oh man, I hate them fancy lads.
He just doesn't appreciate some of the dumber comedies that really
Shaped our whole
shaped our,
personalities.
our, our humor.
Yeah.
So we hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas. We are ending the war on Christmas today with the Miracle on 34th Street. And
Hmm.
as we've mentioned, January will have our usual alien theme. This year, it's Are You There, Aliens? It's us film gazers.
Yes.
I chose Signs, and Jessica made her decision going with War of the Worlds, the 2005, with
Yes.
Le Tom Cruise.
Le Tom Cruise
Le
and
Tom Cruise.
Little Dakota Fanning.
So that should be fun. Those were both very much alien movies from like my teen era for
Mhm.
like, yeah, so that'll be a good throwback. I haven't watched them in a hot minute now.
And I remember enjoying them and them being
Mhm.
thrilling.
Yes. In this episode, we watched 1994's Miracle on 34th Street. It was directed by Les Mayfield. The screenplay was by John Hughes and George Seaton. It was based on Miracle on 34th Street, the 1947 film by George Seaton and Valentine Davies. It was produced by John Hughes. It was starring Richard Attenborough, Elizabeth Perkins, Dylan McDermott, J.T. Walsh, James Reamer, Mara Wilson, Robert Prosky. Cinematography was by Julio Macat. Edited by Raha Gosnell or Raja. I'm not sure on the pronunciation of that one. Music
I'm
was
gonna
by
say Raja.
yeah. Music by Bruce Broughton. And it was released November 18th, 1994. The running time is 114 minutes, so a little long. The budget was 28 million and the box office was 46.3. So meh for a Christmas film, I guess.
I think that's pretty good for a Christmas film, actually.
Yeah, it is a short period of time kind of when you're banking on getting it. Other Christmas movies did much better that year because that is the year Santa Claus came out with Tim Allen.
That one was different than any other Christmas movie too, though.
Yeah, and it really kind of took the thunder away from this one.
For sure. I mean, Tim Allen was huge.
Yes, exactly. And it was way more geared towards children, rather than this one.
And it was comedy, not so like.
That is the difference because I feel like in the 90s and late 80s, the family-friendly films, the ones that did really well, like Home Alone, everything, it had the heart, but it also had the comedy. Like that's really what became like the 90s family component, was you had to have the laughs.
Yeah, especially the slapstick.
This one, because it is, from the 1947 family films, back then, there wasn't really a ton of films directed just towards children in kind of the same sense, that you have the industry nowadays. So I feel like they were a little more like sentimental and sweet, like you also had It's a Wonderful Life, things like that. Those were probably, like the family films of the era.
Right.
But yeah, so I could see why the Santa Claus outshone this one. So to get right into some kind of production setup, John Hughes, of course, wanted to have the Macy's Day Parade, all of that, like what stemmed, with making that such part of like our traditional holiday, in the United States. But Macy's was like, no, we're good.
Like the first one was fine.
That's exactly. They said the original stands on its own and could not be improved upon. So they're like, nah, we don't want to be involved. The first one was good enough. So that is why the department store was renamed to Kohl's.
When the whole time they were saying Kohl's, I was like, we got one of those. I know it's spelled different.
I know. So besides the parade segment, most of this film was actually shot in Chicago, which makes sense, I guess, with John Hughes. They took over the ballroom section of the School of the Art Institute of Chicago for a lot of it. It's funny because Marshall Field was the name of a department store that is kind of Chicago's like big thing, that I guess they had Marshall Field and New York had Macy's. The spokesperson had really tried to get Hughes on board with shooting inside of their State Street location, but they declined, saying they kind of wanted to keep it, I guess, supposed to be still like Macy's or just use a fictional one, since they had declined, because they said we wanted it to be Miracle on State Street. So, which actually did end up getting bought out by Macy's later in 2006, which was funny. But yeah, it still felt like, I don't know, it's very like capitalist, like even behind the scenes, like there was still like, department store trying to get in on this film. So it could do for us what it did for Macy's.
That's what it's all about.
So in the original film, Santa was declared real when the post office presented all of the bags of letters that are addressed to Santa. John Hughes said he wanted to challenge himself to find a different reason for the courts to decide that Santa was real. And I do not think he did a very good job. Sorry, John Hughes.
Well, I thought it was hilarious that he's like, well, people believe in a make-believe God. So why can't they believe in a make-believe Santa? if these idiots fall for
Like, if us idiots in the treasury can put "God We Trust" on a dollar bill, you fucktards can believe this guy's Santa.
exactly. So I'm like, I kind of liked it.
I guess for me, I don't know. I just having the bureaucracy of like the courts involved with Santa in a Christmas movie. Because I'll be honest, I know the first one is very much a part of like the Christmas zeitgeist, I guess. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But like, it's still like, I don't know, like, like, I don't know. Who cares? Like, you're literally sucking the magic out of it, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and I just was like, and ultimately, I was expecting when I'm like, oh, it's going to be like an actual court case, maybe because they have Dylan McDermott's character mention about how there was like a setup. And I was like, oh shit. I'm like, he's going to bring up a setup. We're going to start bringing in mental competency. Like, it's going to, no, it's nothing like that. Because I'm
The
like,
whole premise.
isn't the whole premise that they're basically saying he's not mentally competent enough because he's old? Like, so shouldn't the trial be about that and not if Santa's real or not? Like,
That's what I thought was ridiculous. But I guess Dylan McDermott was like, well, obviously he's not mentally competent because he thinks he's Santa. But if we prove Santa is real, then he's totally competent. Like, what the, how is someone flat in the courtroom? Like, this is what we're doing, wasting all of these taxpayers' time
like on
debating
this.
on if this particular man is Santa.
Like, if the
Not
man thinks he's Santa, let him fucking think he's Santa. Like, I didn't see the issue to begin with because they even state that the
especially
charges,
since they dropped the charges.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm like, they dropped the charges. They viewed that he wasn't like actually being violent, like not enough to actually send him to jail for any kind of physical assault. Therefore, he's competent enough to just be a guy who plays Santa. Let him pretend that he's Santa.
Department store.
Like, have you heard of method acting?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not that deep. I didn't think it was that big. It's which is so funny though, because I didn't realize that the Santa Claus came out the same year. But when he's like, all I could think about when he's on the stand saying it like Kris Kringle is Tim Allen going, ho ho. He's like, Kris Kringle, ho ho, or whatever he says.
So some of the more interesting facts I found about this one was about Julio Macat, the ASC. He worked on all of the Home Alones as well. So he's quite experienced in Christmas films, as well as John Hughes projects. And he stated that he was like, it was John Hughes' idea that gave him the direction of how the look goes with the lighting and everything. So when he talked to him about the photography, he told me he wanted to be able to turn the color off on his TV and have the film look like the original. So like if you were to turn it off, the black and white aspect, you could do it seamlessly, basically. And most of that, as we know, was done with lighting, so you didn't have color or anything to play off of. Lighting was a big part of, 1940s cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
So he turned to traditional lighting techniques. We shot with more backlight and stronger key lights than I would usually use. It's really hard to do. Oh, it really had to do with the lighting style, filming with harder light and utilizing grip cuts to shape it. Things that aren't common at all anymore. He says, it's funny because now we film with much softer lighting. We bounce a lot more and we have a really mellow effect in modern cinema. But in the late 40s, when the original film was made, it was more contrasty. There was more 3-point lighting that was used. And there was always the backlight, even for interiors. So the idea was to have it feel like a period film, even though it was, in color, though, actually. So that's what he tried to do. And he says that he thinks it fell into place pretty nicely. And I will give him that. In this film, the lighting, all of the shots, there was no issues with that. Like, I didn't have any issue with how it looked. Yeah. It looked very magical and comforting and festive. He was even talking about at one point what he figured out during Home Alone with basically really upping like the voltage or something on the Christmas lights. And that's what gives that even like crazier kind of twinkle, like, effect that he was able to really capture in the Home Alone film. So he did use that in this as well, with all of the Christmas trees and the holiday lighting. So that's what
Mm-hmm.
really gives it that warmth and that glow. Like I said, was probably the best feature of this film.
Oh yeah, because I think that's why as a kid, like we would put it on a lot during the holiday season, and I think it was
Mhm.
just because of that, just because of the way it looked. Because I
Yes.
never liked this movie, but I loved the way it looked. Like it was like the whole Christmas, I mean the whole Santa setup was
Yes,
beautiful.
the vibe was all good. Like I said, even the lighting really did capture, I think, that it gives you that sense of nostalgia of older kind of films and a time. And then even the costume design I thought was really good as well.
Hmm.
All of it was very, very Christmas, very 90s
Yeah.
Christmas, but they
Yeah.
still, you could tell the parts they were taking as inspiration from the original film, with a lot of the little girls, outfits,
Yes.
like in her jackets, like, so I think that was well done as well. Well done as well.
Well done as well. She looked like a little American Girl doll.
Yeah, she did.
Christmas version.
He was also said, McCott was said that there was one shot in particular with Sir Richard Attenborough where he came up with a fun gag. So this was actually Richard Attenborough's idea, where when they're doing the finger puppet shadows with the little girl,
Hmm.
and he said, "Hey, wouldn't it be fun if I'm doing it and then I lower my hands and the shadows stay on the wall for a little while?"
Hmm.
Like, and so that's, and I was hoping there would have been more stuff like this in this film. Like I think it's crazy that the actor was the one who had to come up with this idea. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like I feel like this should have, I don't know, like that's why I also couldn't quite get into this movie, and knowing from a child's perspective, this was probably why, because they're, well, as an adult, I'm like, oh, it's very cozy and it does have that vibe. But as a child, it doesn't have the magic. Like I said, it's like a court case and it's like, I don't know. So I thought this was a great scene and a good idea. And then just seeing that it was his idea too, where I'm like, like, why didn't anyone who's writing the script come up with these,
Have
like
anything
like
cute to put in
John
there.
Hughes? Yeah, like what the heck? Usually I love John Hughes, but sometimes he has some flops.
Yeah, I can't be perfect.
Yeah, so they did do that, obviously, and it was in the film. And then just
I see. I don't
another,
even remember that part in the film. Like I remember
oh,
the shadow puppets, but I don't remember them hanging out longer than his hands were down.
yeah, because also you're kind of not expecting it because they've maintained like nothing really like that.
Magical.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
To where you're like looking out for little things. I just thought it was cool though that the actress Elizabeth Perkins, who was Dory,
Hmm.
her and the ASC guy, the cinematographer, Julio Macat, this is where they met and they got married in the year 2000.
That's yeah. I looked that up after I read it in
Mm-hmm.
the notes, and I was like, "Damn, they're still married."
Yeah, yeah. So I was like, well, that's very sweet.
Yeah, a little love
That, yeah,
story.
that a love story did blossom from this film. Now Sammy was the little girl who was deaf in the film, and she was actually deaf. And Richard Attenborough coming in fucking just champ. He asked for the actress to not be rehearsed with him for the scene. So that way the surprise on her face was genuine when he started signing to her, because she wasn't expecting it.
Hmm.
So I
And
just,
yeah, why was that his idea?
yeah, like um in the original theatrical release, 20th Century Fox offered a full refund to any viewer who didn't enjoy the movie. So just saying, we would have been refunded our tickets. They refunded approximately 1,500. So make that 1,502 if it would have been us.
Yes.
So the intent for this film when they were originally releasing it was going to be a little more of a smaller holiday. It was only like 800 screens. They kind of had it a little more thoughtfully, like I think, put out, but the studio decided to just triple the marketing budget and really try to go hard. But again, this is where the Santa Claus was brought up, where it came out and it was just, there was no comparison. One of the people involved, named McKay, said he attributed its failure to its plot depicting bureaucracy out to disprove the existence of Santa Claus, joking, "No one's going to say Santa Claus sucks."
Hmm. Yes. Like, and I get that was what the original was about too, but
Yeah, it just, I mean, Macy's was not wrong. The first time did it well enough. Sometimes just leave well enough alone, you know?
Because I did read a compare and contrast article because I hadn't seen the original one
Uh-huh.
before. And it did say that the first one did have more magic, more
Hmm.
the things that they changed in the remake, they said actually dated it because then it was like so 90s.
Yes. And even because I had seen the original when I was a kid. Actually, I remember watching the original on TV. Like it would play on TV and I would like watch that one a little more often. Yeah, and it was a little more magical. And like the will of the people was like a little more like prominent as well. Like in this one, they have like the one scene of everyone saying, like, oh, get together at noon, and it looks like the streets are filled, and then that's kind of it. Like I feel like it was just more of a bigger deal in the original as well.
Yeah.
Like this one they really made more insular, like to go with just the three kind of main characters, when the other one
Right.
I think was a little more, you know, about everyone with Santa, and yeah, there's a little more magic. So I got most of that from asc.com regarding a lot of the lighting and everything. IMDb, film.com. There was a couple of YouTube videos. Yeah, I mean, most people are kind of like, a lot of people that still had some good reviews. So I will say that too. A lot of people still did really like it. I still consider it like, you know, Christmas classic that they'll watch day of usually, but we're not one of those people.
No.
So Jess is going to take it away with the you Googled summary.
6-year-old Susan Walker is skeptical of the Christmas myth surrounding Santa Claus, a trait she perhaps learned from her bitch ass mother, Dory. When tasked with hiring the Santa who will pose with kids at Macy's, Dory enlists a man with the curious name of Kris Kringle, who claims to be Santa himself. His assertions are met with scoffs and threats of institutionalization. But a young lawyer, along with Susan and Dory, comes to his defense to prove he is indeed the Santa Claus.
So we've already kind of mentioned some of our memories of this film, talking about
Zero.
the fun facts. Yeah, like either very little, just remembering it was kind of boring. Yeah, wasn't, I don't think neither one of these were like our go, no one's family go to like Christmas film.
No, and when I was a kid, I could not stand Mara Wilson.
Oh
I did not like her at all. I don't really remember why, but I just could not stand her. I didn't like her voice. I didn't like the way she
no. I was probably more the opposite because I did really like Matilda. Didn't mind her and Mrs. Doubtfire at the time. I even do like her as an actress because she was such an articulate little girl.
I think that's why I didn't like her because for some reason to me it was like super off-putting when kids were like too precocious like that. Like,
Yeah, to where you probably like she's too grown
yeah, I'm like, what kind of kid is
to
this?
be so tiny.
Like, I don't trust children like that.
I mean, I was kind of a kid like that.
Not to that extent to
Not to that
where
extent, but I enjoyed kids that were also like that because sometimes it's like they're just a little more practical, you know, the slightly more practical kid. In this one, though, they definitely had her overdo it to where she does feel like she's like a 95-year-old woman.
right. Even he
Like,
calls her out on that one part. He's like,
yeah,
who talks like a 65-year-old.
yeah.
And then I read in the original one too, like they were neighbors. I did not get that at all and throughout the whole movie that they were neighbors.
Oh, they do mention it in the very beginning part when she's first with him. They mention that he's the neighbor, but then they don't. Yeah, they do not mention it though, like hardly ever again.
I did not get that at all. I guess I missed that part.
Yeah. So I didn't even know this was a John Hughes, like written and like produced film.
Me
So
neither.
when I saw on the opening credits, I was like, oh, maybe I need, yeah, maybe I do need to for sure give this another chance, you know? Like it could have a little more heart than I remembered, or maybe there is more comedy, you know, and just as a kid, I don't remember that.
Nope.
Nope. I just thought I think it's funny that her name is Susan because I mean, your mom's name's Susan, and I've never
Yes.
met a child named that in my life. Like it's always
I
been
don't remember
adult
her name being
women.
Susan at all. Like I felt like we would have talked about that more back then.
I know, right?
And funny that they changed her name from Doris to Dory.
Yeah, I thought that was weird too. But I guess because Doris just was like not a very, which is funny because that was one of my
Doris
grandmother's
Day.
name
Oh
as well.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's like these are all names we're familiar with. Okay, right from the get-go, I'm immediately put off though that the mom is just leaving her young child
With strange
one
men.
alone for most that like I feel like it's implied that the kid is basically left alone and then oh the neighbor happens to come home and she goes and hangs out with the male neighbor.
Yes, exactly.
Like and they don't really indicate in the beginning that it
They're
seems like
together.
it seems like you know they're interested or maybe like very loosely dating because she says something about like oh because you're so beautiful or this or that like in her little home video thing she made but
Mm,
after but other than that then they kind of yeah you don't get that vibe as much from them so immediately the chemistry and the relationship between the two adults is off-putting to me.
yes. Yeah. That and then like the fact that she tell the kid's like 6.
Wait, yeah, like
Like
if that.
if that, and you're like, Santa's fake. Every one of your friends believes, but you're not going to be dumb. Like, who
Yeah.
tells a 6-year old that?
Well, because she's like, oh, because I was, oh, I'm more devastated later when you find out you've been lied to or whatever. But then I feel like that's not really on the mom with Santa. I feel like that's what they're trying to reference when also, oh, the two men talk about her, about, oh, you know, she's just bitter and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I don't know. It just, even like, I feel like Santa and the neighbor had too much ownership kind of her like
Mm.
in a way like of just like oh well poor thing she's just bitter because you know she got
She don't
knocked
have no
up
man.
and he was an alcoholic and he took off or whatever and just yeah like they like I said it just felt like they have almost like a type of ownership over like oh well we got to do something you know like when I'm like I mean homegirl's doing pretty good by herself
I
yeah
know she got
like
a nice ass apartment.
yeah obviously a cushy job with a giant office like so she's not doing too bad. I do agree. I'm like, you should be able to afford a fucking nanny and not
Yeah.
leaving your child with random strange
Or
men.
home
Like,
alone.
what is this?
And that for him to find, like, oh, I'll find a babysitter and we can go out. And it's the fucking mall Santa. What? Know him like that? You come home and everybody's gone and all your
Yeah.
shit's gone. Like that
Right?
I thought was insane. Oh, hell no. Would I leave my kid with some fucking strange old man?
Yeah. It was definitely a sight to behold. So, just for any listeners who are unfamiliar with this, he does get hired as the mall Santa because he catches the one that they had hired very drunk and basically gets the guy fired. And that is a foreshadowing event that they do make come later. And yeah, she obviously is like, oh, he's good at his job, but I don't believe in Santa. You get this feel that she's told her fucking 5, 6 year old that Santa's not real.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your setup. And then, yeah, and then there's the creepy neighbor involved.
And then I think the whole premise of, oh my God, he's the best Santa we've ever had. He is famous for being the best Santa at the department store. I'm like, was that really a big thing? Did people really go out of their way to go see Santa at the department store? Like, you
I
got to go see
really
this Santa.
I think I wonder how like the holidays I feel like in cities probably are a little different, you know? Like and then in the 90s and even in the 40s, let's think about it even from the original story, department stores were like so important. You know, like
That's
it was just
true.
like a real part of like your community and like everything like that. So I bet in the city, especially like 34th Street, I think they even said if it was actual Macy's, that's like their Manhattan, like the location,
Mm.
So, and really when you think to it too, because they even show clips in this when like, oh, everyone's loving the Santa, that he even like hosts like Good Morning America. Like you kind of forget, like when you were a kid in the 90s, thinking back of like how much of your holiday like things on TV, like everything revolved around like a couple of blocks in New York City. Like,
True. Because
you
it does seem
know,
like that is Christmas. Like Christmas takes place in New York.
yeah, yeah, like especially like any live TV you were watching, yeah, like, even around Thanksgiving, like I said, yeah, the Macy's Day
Macy's Day
Parade, and
Parade.
you have Good Morning America set up, and oh yeah, they're talking to the Macy's Mall Santa, I guess, like, and then yeah, during that period of time, it was just that was the thing. Like I feel like in our towns you didn't quite get that, even though you would have Santa set up, but no one's gonna be like, this is the best Santa ever. Like we're not
It was at the
comparing.
mall, you know?
Yeah, yeah. It was the mall, and you wouldn't remember one year from the other. Like,
No, they all bled together.
yeah. But I guess maybe that's the difference too, is I guess he's supposed to be so good with the children that it's noticeable.
Yeah. And that he tells, oh, you can get it here for cheaper. You can get it over here.
Yes.
And you're like, but I thought Santa was supposed to make the toys.
I know. And then they even mention his workshop and how he says it's invisible and in like a dream world. And he's like, I thought everyone knew that. But I'm still, that's my, okay, so that's my beef with a lot of like Santa movies is they either acknowledge that there are workshops like the Santa Claus where everything is being made and given to children,
Hmm.
but somehow the real world still exists to where parents think they're Santa. So I'm like, where are these unaccounted toys? Like, no one ever actually, like, we're suspending our disbelief so much to the point of like, for some reason, this can all happen simultaneously. Somehow, poor children can still go without toys completely, but Santa yet does exist and is making the toys. Like,
And
I
then, yeah, you're like, so all poor children are bad.
don't. It's canon. Now they do have it different for this child because what she asked Santa, basically he knows her and her mom don't believe, and he feels like if I can make them believe, then all the children will believe. And then, but they're also implying that like if he were to get locked away and no one believes, like he gonna die? Like what's gonna
Because he sounds
happen?
immortal.
Yeah, but then he's like, oh, and then they won't need me anymore, and people aren't believing. But I don't know. It just still, again, felt like it was so revolved around just a cast of characters that why did it matter? Like, we don't know what are the consequences of the grand scheme of them not believing, because
Right.
right now he seems to be not really doing much either. I mean, he's not the North Pole. Is he retired? What is going
Yeah.
on?
What's
Like,
the deal with
they don't
him?
explain any of this. And that's why it's like so frustrating to watch.
Especially because then all of a sudden he's going to court, even though he knows he lives in a nursing home because they dropped him off there, unless he doesn't live
Mm-hmm.
there and he was just going there to hang out. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, they did drop him off at an old folks' home.
And he does come out of it too. Like, so I'm pretty sure he does live there. So I'm like, why? Why is Santa in a nursing home?
Well,
Like,
it's got
where
to be
the
assisted living if he can leave.
where the fuck is Mrs. Claus? Like, where are the elves? Like, what
Why are
are
the
we
reindeer at the fucking park
zoo thing or
or
park? Yeah,
whatever?
like what is going on? Like, they don't explain
Anything.
anything. And I mean, Attenborough did a good job. I think he plays a decent Santa. Like, that's not the issue. It's John Hughes' script. I'm sorry.
I know, and I had no idea the whole movie. I'm like, oh my god, it's the guy from Jurassic Park, and I didn't realize that that's David Attenborough's brother.
Oh, they are actually
They
related?
are related. I
Oh
looked it
my
up.
God, that's
Yes,
crazy.
isn't that? I had
That's
no idea.
man, that mother bread champions.
I know.
Oh, so I did have a question posed for us for this one. When we were talking about her being told about Santa not being real or whatever. It's the question of, do you think it's okay to lie to children about things like Santa and the Easter Bunny? keeping, the idea of this tradition and magic being alive? Or do you
Yes.
think like were you devastated when you found out the truth? Like, do you think it's a harmless lie or a big one? Because I have seen people say about how like devastated they were. And I also am the same camp of if I had, you have a child, you did tell them about Santa. So there's your answer for yours, I guess.
Gabe was different though. He never really believes in it.
Mm-hmm.
So he would be like, oh, I'm on the nice list, right? Like he never really believed in it. So then whenever I was like, so do you still believe in Santa? He's like, sure. But I think he just pretended for me. I don't think he ever really believed anyway.
That's so funny. I
think it depends on the kid, really.
I think so too, because I remember when I was young, I'm sure I like, was all about it. But as I got a little older and I was more aware of my surroundings and kind of like what economic situations we were in, I was skeptical. And I think maybe when I was probably around the same age as like the Matilda girl, around that time, I was like, oh, well, we're pretty poor. So Santa probably maybe is real because how else could we afford these things?
Mm-hmm.
Like that was a justification for me. But probably after a year or two of that, I was like, that's when I fully wasn't quite on board. But I think I also just like pretended and it, for your family and stuff until maybe I was like 8 or 9.
And it's fun to pretend.
Yeah. And it was still fun because I had a younger brother. So, we still like I did think it was fun that I was in on that's what I like about it is basically when you're told as a kid, I think if you're told in the way of like, hey, now you're keeping the tradition alive, by letting other kids believe in Santa, like, and I always thought that was fun. And still there was some magic to it, because of that. I didn't see it as a lie. I could see in situations where people might, where maybe it would be bad at certain children in certain situations, of course. But overall, I'm like, let them have their fun while they can before
that's
the
exactly
real
how I
world,
feel.
yeah, jades you.
Because I really don't like when people try to make children into adults. That's why I don't like Matilda. That's why I don't like her in this movie being so precocious because I'm like, she just lost her whole childhood at that point.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
haven't even given her a childhood. And the whole point of childhood is to be magical. Is like magic is real. Things can actually happen. You should be able to believe in that kind of stuff as a kid.
And even knowing that character wanted to believe. And then the mom was even like, like to me, that was like so harsh. And yeah, let's talk about the mom character because they make her
unlikable.
Unlikable, yeah, kind of in the beginning. And again, like we said, we didn't really know what her relationship is at first with this neighbor guy. And then before you know it, he's like proposing to her. And then she also kind of freaks out. And it's like, what would give you any impression? But I'm like, oh, maybe that you leave your child alone with him all the time.
Yes, exactly. And that, like, your kid is like, oh, well, it's almost like we're a family. He's the dad and you're the mom. Like, so your kid's getting very attached to him and he doesn't maybe think that he's being a dad.
Yeah, like you literally kind of assigned him this role a little bit or allowed him to play this role kind of like in your life. It's pretty obvious, like by how the child responds. And I was like, I put, no, I only leave my child with strange men, not ones I plan to marry.
Exactly. And then when she said, I wrote it down, he said, I put my faith in you. And she said, well, if that's true, then you're a fool. I was like, damn.
I know.
Hold. I was like, and he gave her like a nice ass ring.
Yeah, like he goes, like he's very smitten with her basically. And she's just like not having it. And then there's like this complete 180, I feel like, with her character when he gets arrested because we got the corporate sabotage basically. There's another department store that wants Kohl's to go out of business or whatever. So you have a little bit of that, yeah. And then of course you have the guy who played Dexter's dad.
Yes, I know, because I was like, who is he?
And Daphne,
oh my god,
from Frasier.
Daphne. And she said maybe one line the whole movie.
Yeah, I think she only had a couple. And so they're like the henchmen and they enlist the old drunk Santa to basically instigate to get the ball rolling of disgracing the Santa for Kohl's, and then hopefully getting him locked up, and
Calling
then
him a pedophile.
yes, and that is, I noticed someone in a review of this film, I was waiting till we got to this part to bring it up, where they had beef with this scene because I in the original film it was Santa like standing up for someone else, I think, like a
Right.
teenager or something like that. I couldn't quite remember.
But it was no way, shape, or form being accused of being a pedophile.
Yes, and like, and that was what someone commented, that they were like, I don't know, this one feels flat in so many ways, and this was one of the examples, was that like the whole time Santa is supposed to be fighting for like not himself but for other people, and like, you know, the magic and yeah, idea of Santa. And while they kind of say that in this film, yeah, like his actions are still kind of like a little self-serving, like, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna hit you with a cane if you talk shit about me as Santa, like
Right, right.
like that kind of thing. So, and I agree with them. I'm like, it was weird that that's how they like goaded him. And then again, it was no big deal, the charges are dropped, and then the espionage people, the corporate espionage people, are supposed to be doing their thing. And again, they have these 180s that they don't explain, or they must have cut out. Because as soon as he gets arrested, and the mom's like all of a sudden, like, well, now we have to help him, and blah, 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 this. And I'm like, you were calling him like a crazy old man before, and we're just like humoring him. And
Yeah.
I guess what it is, she just finally is like, oh, I mean, I thought he was crazy, but he doesn't deserve that. Like, I guess I can see that. But then she's like calling the lawyer guy and trying to like, you know, make up with him almost. And I'm just like, where did this come from? Especially with the neighbor, with Dylan McDermott. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I could kind of see again why she would be like, oh, the old man doesn't deserve that. But like, you were pissed at him for proposing to you and now you're not. I
Right.
what happened in between then? They don't really give you that story either.
Well, because Santa Claus sprinkled his little magic, and then she's like, "No, I wanna be married after all."
Yeah. So you have your stupid court case and the mean old lawyer who prosecutor who's trying to prove that he's crazy. And then we have just ridiculousness.
Yeah, it was so stupid. I was like, the whole concept that to go to court to prove that he's Santa, so fucking dumb. So fucking dumb.
No, I have to say, the part that caught my eye, that I was like, you know what, that they should really expand on this. Like, we should have a modern day like sci-fi Santa film, because when they ask him about how do you go around the world, and he's talking about time travel essentially, and how he
Mm-hmm.
says like, you know, well, if you
You
can
slow it
live,
down.
yeah, if you can slow down time to where you can do a year in a minute. So I'm like, so essentially Santa lives like 2 years for every one that actually exists. You know, like not
Right.
only is he immortal, but he's like twice the age of even what he should be, because of the way he can time travel to deliver presents. I don't know. That's the Santa movie I want to see.
You're like, that's the story right there.
That's the story. Yeah, I'm like, that's
The
the
time
story.
traveler's wife.
Yes. So this is, I will say, the last
It could
of
be the time
the
traveler's wife, and it's Mrs.
Yes,
Claus.
Mrs. Claus. Yeah, I'd be more about a Christmas movie like that. But my last notes on this are, everything else is so boring. Like, who is this movie for? Because it's not for kids, and I could care less about this frigid couple.
Yeah, frigid. That's a good word for that.
It's
Like their
like,
date. What was the point of that? I don't understand the even point. I mean, yes, it had some pretty imagery with like saying the
yeah, like a
Christmas tree and
magical
ice,
Christmas date.
but
Yeah.
like, why? What was the point?
So he
I
could
thought they were
propose
already
to her.
dating.
I don't know. It
Oh, is that
was,
when he proposed to
I
her?
believe so, but it was just
But you proposed to
odd.
her like after everything's done, you had all of those magical moments, and then you proposed to her when she's like, "Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna head out to my apartment now."
I don't know. Or it might have been the next day. I don't even remember. That's how little I kind of cared. And then for the daughter, then just that, like, so she tells Santa that she wanted a dad, a baby brother, and this fucking house. Like, that her mom did mention that she'd been wanting to buy, because the catalog house was supposed to be going up for sale. So, and Santa even is kind of like, oh, that stuff's kind of hard because it kind of goes against free will, but okay. So he makes it all happen. And basically, like sets him up with the, ooh, I both sent you notes to meet at this one place at the same time and everything's okay. And she wakes up with them being married, which to me is even
I
weirder.
think
I'm
I fell
like,
asleep during that part. So they got married when they met there at the church.
yes, like he's like, are you ready to get married? And she's like, did you set this up? And he's like, I didn't set this up, did you? And then they figure out, like, oh, it was Santa and or Chris Kringle, whatever they call him. And so they end up going through with it. And then, yeah, so she wakes up Christmas morning and they both come out in their robes. And she's just like, oh my God, what happened? Because she sees the ring on her finger. And then she's like, oh, we got married. And I'm just like, this poor
You
kid.
didn't want your daughter there?
Yeah, well, and just that, like, you make these, like, like, no, I don't want to marry him and have him out of the life. And, like, she sees how much her daughter misses him. But then she's like, okay, now we just got married. I don't know. Like, this all happened so quickly and then has them meet at the catalog house or whatever. And then she's like, oh, Santa did this for me. And then I get that she didn't ask for anything really like super material, but then I'm kind of like, you did, like, girl wants a whole ass family, a fucking baby brother, like basically she wishes for her mother to get impregnated. Like, I don't know. I feel like the mom then again doesn't have a lot of say in this sometimes.
Right.
Even though for her, like, her decision magically changes, I'm like, was that Santa's magic? Does she not actually want to marry this guy? Is she like
That's
in
what I'm
some
saying.
weird like Christmas glamour trance? Like, what is going on?
She's gonna wake up and be like, fuck, I don't even have a job anymore. I'm a housewife.
And she's gonna be like 8 months pregnant with and then they still have to pay for the house.
Yeah.
So it's not really a present.
And I don't understand why they would want to live there outside of the city because that's where her job is. Is she going to commute to the city every day for work?
I know, and he's still a lawyer. Well, I guess that's what a lot of city people are. That's the goal, though, isn't it? Where they like have their big city lives and then they'll end up, raising their kids maybe outside of the city and be working professionals like that.
I guess that sounds awful to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how are you going to see your family if you have to commute that far?
Yeah, I never was about that suburbs life. It doesn't sound that great to me.
I'm not about the suburb or the city life.
Yeah, I am. Green Acres is the place for me. Farm living is the life.
Farm living. I don't want to do that either.
But that was it, guys. That was Miracle on 34th Street. It was a big fat flop to me.
Yep. Miracle on shit street.
Yeah, it was on shit street. Did not like it. Yeah, it was
boring.
boring.
It was way too long.
It was way too long.
Piece of shit Christmas movie.
I don't even feel like it's a family enough film because the girl is actually hardly in it to where you don't get a lot of stuff from the kid's perspective too much.
And I don't remember that either. I don't remember her having like 3 scenes in the whole movie.
Yeah. Like, I was like, what is this? Who is this movie for? Like, because again, the chemistry, even between like it, if you wanted to say it was more of a romance, like,
but it wasn't
either. Yeah. Like, it was, did not enjoy it at all. I feel vindicated.
I was like, I think I like Christmas with the Kranks better.
It was. Christmas with the Kranks was better. And it even had a like not great message either. Because even in this one, the whole thing at the end was like, believe. Oh, and they even had the other office guy, the Dexter's dad or whoever, where he has the thing inside too, where he's like has the pen where he believes. I'm like, you literally like sabotage him and you're responsible for why he's like in court anyway.
Right.
And they don't explain that 180 either. So that's where, overall it was just so ugh.
And believe in what? Santa?
I know. And then it has this
God?
it's like really parallel to God even. And like
that the movie's supposed to be having an undertone of religious themes too.
Well, I guess the idea of if you have faith and you believe, like, which you have to have in God too, I guess. But I don't know. I still felt like it didn't add up with that either. Like ultimately,
were they trying to say Santa and God are the same person?
I guess like you just got to have faith, and
anything.
Yeah, and anything. You have to have that faith because what do they say? You're doomed to. They had a really good thick line where they were laying
doomed to be boring.
Yeah, quick. It was doomed for something or whatever of like depression, basically.
If you can't believe, if you can't accept anything on faith, then you're doomed for life. dominated by doubt.
Highlighting that a lack of faith leads to a joyless, skeptical existence. Well, I'm like, well, that's obviously the existence I'm doomed to if, because this movie did not inspire any faith.
You're right.
So yeah, I will probably never watch this one again. How about you?
No, I mean, if it comes on randomly on TV, I'll leave it playing in the background.
Yeah, let it play out, but I'm not paying attention.
No, I would never seek it out to go watch it again.
No, I'll give the original another shot sometime.
The court case, I could care less about. Like,
yeah, I just feel like
court and Christmas do not go hand in hand.
Do not mix. I agree. I do agree with you there. So, yeah, Miracle on 34th Street, guys. That ends our war on Christmas.
I feel like we were pretty vindicated.
Yeah, I do. I feel like both of them were like, yeah, there's way better Christmas movies out there. So,
yes.
Let us know your thoughts on this one or what your favorite Christmas films are. Maybe underrated ones that are kind of out of the big blockbuster ones. I'm sure there's tons of small, like made for TV ones that are probably still okay, that some people might have grown up on. Oh, I did watch one. I forgot. It was called Christmas Town. And that one is really cheesy, like a Hallmark one, but it actually, like, I don't hate it. Because it's like her dad moves to a town and it ends up being basically like Santa Claus's town. Like they all are in on getting Christmas together. And slowly the kid figures it out and he's like sneaking into the like Santa facility where they're making the toys. Like that's one of the ones where I feel like you can make it family friendly. You can talk about belief because she's supposed to be this like working real estate lady who's single, like to me, Christmas Town is a better Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah.
So I would recommend that one in lieu of this one.
In lieu. Noise.
And remember, guys, you can always find us at Film Gazers on the social medias. We have our Discord, the Film Gazers Community Podcast, TikTok as well. Yeah, any of them. And you can also find some merchandise on Redbubble, correct, Jessica?
Yes, Redbubble. I think it's just Redbubble/Film Gazers.
Yes. And you also have a setup, as we mentioned in our previous episode, I believe, is the Buy Me a Coffee, which is for us, Buy Me a Popcorn.
It should be on, I think there's a button wherever you listen. Not exactly quite sure how that works. I should probably look into that first. I thought it was just like, I know on the RSS website, like if you listen from there,
have a
okay, button that says buy me a popcorn.
Yeah, so go to our RSS link to our podcast, and that's where you can find that.
And I do have us a link tree set up too, so it has all of our links on our link tree.
Good. I was just about to say, I'm like, I think it's time we get a link tree.
I got it. She got it.
It's
on our Instagram.
Perfect.
Yeah. So that's got all of our links on there, including all of our merchandise links. And if you want to donate, the links are on there as well.
Awesome. We appreciate any donations. We have made no money doing this. I think we're concluding almost our 4th year now.
Yes.
And I think I need to buy a new mic. So it's getting that time. And that's definitely going to be an expense. So we appreciate anything. If you notice, we also do have ads in the beginning and end now. Thanks to whoever has been listening, though, because what if we made like a whopping 50 cents?
54 cents was deposited.
So we are officially paid podcasters.
Yeah.
So guys, just thanks a lot for hanging out with us this year. I know we had like 2 months where we didn't record because of a lot of the stuff going on medically in our families and stuff. So just, sincere thank you for hanging out with us. And like I said, even the 54 cents, I was surprised we made that much. Like knowing that enough people listen to some of the ads to make anything is impressive, and we're always very grateful. We hope to bring you a lot more in 2026. I feel like things are really starting to get a little more on track on certain things in my life that I'm having to balance. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I can't wait for the new year.
Yeah, I'm excited about the new year.
Yes. So from the bottom of our little film gazers' hearts.
Our filthy little film gazers' hearts.
We thank you guys so much and we appreciate all of you. And we can't wait to see you in the new year. So, time to hit the dusty trail.
Until next time.
Later,
Later, taters.
taters.